In a move that has been met with worldwide condemnation, the U.S. president has announced Washington will officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Donald Trump also said the American embassy will be moved from Tel Aviv to the ancient city, which has long been contested by Israel and Palestine. Huge protests broke out in the Muslim world upon the news.
Therefore, I have determined that it is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
Yeah, these are pictures of how parts of the Muslim world reacted to Trump's decision. Mass protests breaking out in the West Bank, Turkey and Lebanon. Trump is also facing a backlash from other leaders who say the move is detrimental and could have terrible consequences for peace in the region.
No one has the right to play with the fates of billions of people for the sake of one's personal ambitions.
Ignoring the Palestinian Muslim and Christian rights in Jerusalem will only fuel further extremism and undermine the war against terrorism.
They cannot oppose people's feelings and beliefs. This is a new type of adventurism and global arrogance of the U.S.
King Salman made our position clear during his telephone conversation with President Trump. Saudi Arabia's policy regarding the Palestinians will never change. The Palestinian issue is a primary concern to us. We warned the U.S. that Jerusalem may stay Arab. We've warned of the consequences that would occur in case the U.S. and President Trump took this decision, which will damage U.S. relations with the Arab nations.
Jerusalem, considered a holy site by Christians, Jews and Muslims, is not recognized as the Israeli capital by most of the international community. No country in the world at this moment has an embassy to Israel in Jerusalem. That's despite the country's government being based there and Israel's own claim that the ancient city is its capital. Journalists covering the region, Jordana Miller and Mohammed Al-Qasim, spoke to us on how the Palestinian and Israeli leaderships have reacted to Washington's move.
Well, soon after U.S. President Donald Trump concluded his speech, President Mahmoud Abbas, in a televised speech, an angry speech, to be quite honest with you, condemned the decision by the U.S. President and criticized this decision, saying that Jerusalem will forever be an Arab and the capital of the Palestinian future state, and no one can change its identity.
These deplorable and unacceptable measures deliberately undermine all peace efforts and proclaim that the U.S. are abandoning the role of sponsor of the peace process that they have played over the past decade.
There has been minor clashes throughout the West Bank, and in fact we've heard that there has been some demonstrations in East Jerusalem. There will be general strike and calls for days of rage. We've heard also reports of demonstrations in Amman, Jordan, and also in Ankara, the capital of Turkey, in front of the U.S. Embassy, as well as demonstrations of a few hundred Turks in front of the U.S. consulate in Istanbul. Wide condemnation throughout the Middle East and the Muslim world with the decision that President Donald Trump took by moving the embassy from the city of Tel Aviv in Israel to Jerusalem, as well as announcing that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel.
I have to say that really across the political spectrum here, Israeli lawmakers and the majority of the public here support this move. The Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, put out a statement on YouTube.
This is a historic day. The President's decision is an important step towards peace, for there is no peace that doesn't include Jerusalem as the capital of the State of Israel.
He went on to call this a just and courageous decision, and he called on other countries to follow suit. Now, it doesn't look at this moment like many other countries will follow suit. Overall, this is a decision that Israelis have been praising. Now, if we look at the Israeli Arab lawmakers, of course, very different reaction there. The head of the major party here that serves in the Israeli Knesset releasing a statement saying that Trump is a, quote, hater, that he is not interested in any kind of peace between Israelis and Palestinians because he's made this kind of move, which really destroys, he said, the chances for peace.